to Ginger.
You know, this next Arctic blast doesn't just stop at us. It goes all the way south to Marco Island, where they're going to feel like the 40s with their wind chills this weekend, in the mornings at least. And of course, you will warm up eventually, but that Arctic chill settles in so much so that you've got sub-zero wind chills all the way through the northern plains, even down into Missouri. Look at all of the alerts that go into North Florida, Ocala, over to New Orleans. So that Arctic air is going to look like this. It's going to feel like 1 below for Nashville on Saturday morning, Dallas in the teens, and look at New York City. We'll stay in that kind of 10, lower teens range. But don't worry, because next week, now this isn't like baking anyone, this is just warmer than average, so we will break this pattern a little bit. Your local weather's coming up in just 30 seconds. Texas, we have advisories. There's ice storm warning that includes Fayetteville, Arkansas this morning, Tulsa, Oklahoma, and a winter storm. Then it freezes on contact, makes a very thick glaze. Roads tonight through early tomorrow. Then it's going to be mostly snow as it moves into Pennsylvania, New York, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island for tomorrow. Let's go ahead and talk about what happens, though, with that warm-up, because I know this is the part everybody's waiting for. The January thaw is on, and we're talking about temperatures upwards of 40 degrees warmer than a lot of folks have been. New York City will end up by Thursday in the low 50s, Washington, D.C. in the 60s, Jacksonville, Florida to near 80. George. Bikini weather.
I'll just take 50 in New York. That's fine for me.
Southern part, we start in Houston this morning where their visibility is only a quarter mile. They've got that fog with the rain showers already starting, and they're looking for some heavy rains to move through from there right through Louisiana, Alabama, and into Tennessee. Your local weather in just 30 seconds now.
It was just a regular Monday when suddenly...
Can you get this board to Tony Hawk?
Coming up, Stanford coach Tara Vanderveer joining us live after she became the winningest coach ever in the NCAA. Also ahead, Robert Downey Jr. and Lori Bergamatto with a 2024 fashion forecast. Your local news and weather are next.
Kelly O'Hara and Brian Darcy James are brilliant in Wine and Roses the musical.
Ginger, there is a warm-up on the way, right?
There sure is. We just got to get through a couple of things first. So it's, you know, the broccoli before you get your dessert, all right? So let's do it. Let's talk about what's about to happen. So we will begin in Oklahoma City, where the snow-covered, icy roads certainly getting us, it looks like they're moving okay, but you're going to warning for Tulsa. And then in Van Buren, Arkansas, Interstate 40, people slipping and sliding. There are ice storm warnings just south of Springfield, Missouri. It includes Fort Smith and Fayetteville. And then we're going to build this thing to the north, and that's why you see winter weather advisories into Iowa, Chicago, right through just north of Pittsburgh. So tonight it's going to be that slick stuff that comes in, that freezing rain that comes down, glazes the roads, the power lines. And then it's mostly snow for western New York into Vermont, Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Rhode Island tomorrow. Here's how it's going to go down, though. Remember, on the southern side, you've got not only the chance of, we're talking at the end, because we will finally see some of this melting. I think we'll see some fog along the way, because we've got more snow cover right now in our nation than we have had this time of year in 8 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Feels that way, too.
Yes.
Thank you, Ginger. Race for the White House now in the shake.
It was a rainy Sunday in San Diego. Up to 3 inches of rain in some of the foothills and mountains in Southern California, and still a flood watch from Anaheim down to San Diego, but also flood watches from Sausalito to Sacramento. We will see a bit more in the way of winter weather, where places have already gotten a foot or so of snow. You could end up with another 6 to 12 inches in the bullseyes there. Some rain spreading into Phoenix and Tucson as well as we watch this parade of storms. Very active pattern ahead. Let's get checked now a little closer to home. And we'll see the return of rain tomorrow and a wind-free mix falling north and west to 287 right now. Temperature is still
In with Ginger.
Hey, that cold, Lara, has gone all the way into Florida the last couple of weeks, but don't worry, things are warming up. Lauderdale by the Sea looks nice, but the big waves tell you it's breezy. They've got gusts up to 30 miles per hour, but they're going to tack on about 20-25 degrees from where you were over the weekend. Check this out. The warm-up in Orlando could even see records toward the end of the week. Let's get a check now a little closer to home.
And most of us are still in the 20s, 25 in the city, but this afternoon we get back closer to...
Let's go back to Ginger. Yeah, and that foggy start. Nearly 24 states have some sort of fog alerts. It is really murky out there. Looking over New York City from New Jersey, that's the Hudson River there. And we're going to see rounds of rain. Remember, we're at like 200% of normal precipitation already this month. Most of that rain in the Northeast, and we're going to see more of that even going into another storm on Sunday. Frozen on the top of it. Your local weather in 30 seconds. Talk about resilience and climate flexibility. Look at this alligator. So last week when it was so cold in Beaumont, Texas, this is what they do. They have that little area in the ice so that they can breathe, and he's just chilling on the bottom there. Much warmer there now, and we are seeing, well, temperatures, though, could reach record levels, like record high temperatures toward the end of this week, start of the weekend. Numbers are going to be back up into the mid-80s. No need to make a little nose hole for the ice, that's for sure. Now, coming up here on GMA, our series, Weight Loss Revolution, looking at who the best candidates are for bariatric surgery. Also ahead, a new study on kids and anxiety. This is huge. I've got a 5 and an 8-year-old, and I can tell you, I feel like it starts earlier and earlier. So that. We love a little ray of sunshine. Your local news and weather, they're coming up next. And a force of nature, both of you. Thank you. FX2, Capote versus the Swans premieres Wednesday, January 31st, 10 p.m. on FX, streams the next day on Hulu. Happy belated birthday! Ginger. Thank you so much. Can't wait to see it all. Okay, so even though we had that 1 week of serious cold that made it pretty far south, we wanted to check in on winter so far. All of these sites in red have had their top 5 start to winter. So much of the Great Lakes, Northeast, a few in the West, and just one across the map of any historical place that has 70 plus years of data is top 5 coldest. So you can see where that trend is going. And then Climate Matters, Climate Central put this out. Quick look, that's how much the temperature has changed since 1970 on the coldest day of the year, up about 14 degrees. Let's get a check now a little closer to home. Still cloudy with light rain across the area right now. Get ready for periods of rain all day. Temperatures in the 40s and the 50s.
Best of the world. Ginger?
Thank you, Michael. And we have those record high temperatures falling again. San Francisco made it to 73. Las Vegas was 72. Even Great Falls, Montana to 62 degrees. What a flip-flop, because Tampa was colder yesterday than Great Falls, Montana. That was their coolest day of the winter so far. But that big ridge is to blame, and it's going to stick around for a couple of days. You're seeing Grand Forks go to 41, 66 for Rapid City. Even down in Arizona, quite warm, certainly above average. Some places, though, 20 to 30 degrees. It's not going to last forever. We've got a couple atmospheric rivers going to disrupt all of it. Let's get a check now a little closer to home. And temperatures right now still mainly in the 30s. It's 35 in Central Park. This afternoon, we only reach a high of... Thank you, George. All right, so let's start with Mount Shasta. It's been dry, it's been warm, and it has been beautiful with those lenticular clouds. I think this was taken over the weekend, but still, you can see it looking beautiful with those pancake-like clouds. Well, directly at California and the Pacific Northwest. In the coming days, though, it's Wednesday afternoon when it starts in far northern California into the Bay Area through Wednesday night. And then Thursday morning starts really early Santa Barbara through the rush in Los Angeles. It'll leave behind some significant rain, too. Let's get a check a little closer to home. And we'll have a chance for an isolated shower or a snow shower this afternoon, but right now temperatures in the 30s and it's mainly dry, 35, mostly cloudy, a high of 38 degrees tonight. We fall down to 32, 40 tomorrow, 48 on Thursday, and more rain on tap for Friday. Now to Megan Thee Stallion, the multi-Grammy winner, fiercer than ever. This segment is sponsored by Planet Fitness and the superstar rappers teaming up with them, telling us about staying strong in body and spirit, and you will hear her very special announcement that she is sharing with our viewers before anyone else. 2024 may as well be the year of the Stallion, and the 3-time Grammy winner is showing no signs of